Greetings everyone and welcome back to Game Bro Station and another episode of First Thoughts. This time on The Disaster Artist. For those of you that don't know, The Disaster Artist is brought to us by Point Grey Productions that brought us films like The Interview and This Is the End that star James and Dave Franco as the titular characters Tommy Wiseau and Greg. By the way everyone, this is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen The Disaster Artist, stop watching now, go see it, and then come back. We'll be waiting. So the things I like about this film is that it allows us to get into each character's mindset. James Franco does a spectacular job playing Tommy Wiseau, and so does Dave Franco as Greg. Seth Rogen plays the script caretaker Sandy, and he does a great job as usual. And a lot of the big name actors and even actors I didn't recognize that played different characters in this film did a spectacular job. I was invested in each of their stories, so when things like Tommy not giving them any water or causing them a lot of strain or stress and other things happen, I felt for the characters and was very intrigued with how things were going to play out. Another thing I really like is that throughout the film they plant the idea that Tommy is sort of the villain, not just because he looks crazy or like, as they say, kind of like Frankenstein or a vampire or something like that, but the fact that they kind of put the seed in your mind that he's villainous really works for the film, because when he does have those sort of anger-filled or crazed moments, you begin to see him as that, and it gets into your head, which works for the film a lot. At the same time, however, there are many moments where you actually do feel sorry for Tommy. So the fact that we have a villain character that we both hate but feel bad for really lends to the film, and the fact that it's sort of a biopic. With that said, you spend a lot of time with both lead characters. You spend a lot of time with Tommy and his struggles in trying to be an actor. You spend a lot of time with Greg and his successes that actually show how hard he is working to become an actor. And it creates a good duality with the both of them that meshes well for this. Another thing that the film does really well is that the pacing, when it's with Tommy especially, seems to match his frantic and really odd mindset. Shots with Greg or other characters seem normal, but when Tommy's there, it seems to pick up or slow down, depending on how frantic and crazy he can be, which just adds to this. Overall, the story is great because it's essentially a comedy-ish biopic about how one of the most infamous movies ever made was made. So overall, I really do like the film's characters, actors, pacing, and story. They did a fantastic job trying to explain how this movie, this terrible but likable movie, was actually created. Again guys, we're talking about The Room here. This movie is awful, so the fact that they made a biopic comedy based off of that and ran with it and got Tommy Wiseau, the actual Tommy Wiseau's blessing, is amazing to me, and as far as I can tell, they did a fantastic job. As far as cons go with this film, I don't have too many, but I do have a couple things I noticed that did bother me just a little bit. One of them is the fact that in terms of Tommy, we know nothing about him. Like literally, a common joke in this film, is that we don't know how old he is, where he originates from, or anything of his origins. And I don't know if that carries into reality, but at least in this film, it leaves you wanting more. And the fact that they kind of tease you with like, oh, how old is he, where is he from, and things like that, it just kind of bugs you a little bit. At least for someone that wants that full circle story kind of completed. The other thing that I can think of is that Sandy, Seth Rogen's character, gets fired near the end of the filming of The Room, and it seems pointless. Why did that happen? Was the actual Tommy Wiseau trying to get more credit so that he could be called the producer and author and director and so on? Was there a real reason for it besides that? Was he actually dissatisfied with his job, how he was doing like in the film? I honestly have no idea, but his firing of Sandy seemed pointless. Overall, I give The Disaster Artist a 2 thumbs up. It's a great film and I highly recommend it. It has my Jared stamp of approval. But in the end, we want to know what you all thought of the film, so tell us in the comment section below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please let us know what you think. In any case, tune in next time everybody when we watch, play, or do something else. As I usually say here, to be continued.